Okay guys, so we're back again. So we're looking at why should we take a rogue to a raid in TBC. Hard to say that without laughing, because why would you take a rogue to TBC? I've really had to scrape the barrel. I'm sorry rogues, you know, you do good damage, you've got some good abilities, cool abilities, you're great in PvP. Bringing you to a raid, especially early on in TBC, there's limited reasons to bring you. So when you're watching this, I have scraped the barrel a bit. I've tried to think outside the box a bit, give you fight specifics of why I would bring a rogue to a raid. We've got two. We take two rogues at the moment to raids over in TBC, and they do fine damage. But if you're gonna put a rogue next to perhaps a warlock or a hunter or a shaman, your reasons for taking or being taken start to dwindle down a little bit. And I'm not a rogue hater. I love rogue. Rogue's a great class to play, really fun to play. So please don't let this video put you off of playing a rogue, because you'll do absolutely fine. Guilds will still want rogues. You do bring a few things, nothing major. So it's probably going to be quite a short video. But I thought rogues are quite sneaky. And I've been like throwing in a card trick here and there. If you just want to know about a rogue, feel free to skip over the next minute. But I'm gonna show you the sneakiness of a rogue with a pack of cards. All right, guys. So yeah, just quick one. I won't keep you too long because I know some of you are just here for WoW, you're not here for cards. So I appreciate that. But I've been getting a lot of positive comments when it comes to the card tricks. So I'll keep trying to just throw one in now and again. So I'm going to show you the power of a rogue's pickpocket, basically. So you've just seen me shuffling the cards. I can give them one more shuffle as well, just so you're absolutely satisfied. And we'll just pick any random card. That one will do. Doesn't really matter. So 7 of spades. So I'm even going to write on it as well, so you know that it's unique. So we're going to write on here, rogue. And let's draw a little heart on there as well. Why not? So we've got our rogue, and I'm going to show you, it's probably more pocketing rather than pickpocketing, but you'll just see how just sneaky this rogue can be. Just blow it, make sure it's nice and dry. So all we'll do then is, if you was, if there was someone on the other side of a camera, you could tell me to stop. So we'll go stop, roughly there. So it's about halfway in the deck. Okay, so you can see, roughly where it's going. And then all we'll do is literally lose it into the middle of the deck. And then we let the rogue do the work. So we don't really need to do anything now. It's all down to the rogue. So if we can literally lose the deck completely, and if the rogue has actually done his job, then it's already done. And what I mean by that is, if I was to just literally reach into this pocket, which, by the way, my pockets are empty, other than one card, which was in that pocket, which I think you'll find was the rogue. He managed to pocket me. Just unbelievable, isn't it? I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, guys, right, first, before I get into this, thank you, Sin, C-I-N, absolute champ of a rogue that has let me kindly use some footage of him in Heroics. So, yeah, thanks for that, mate, much appreciated. So, just to give you something to look at while I'm chatting about the rogue, we're going to just get straight into it. So, as I say, there's not going to be that much to cover, but we'll do what we've done on the past videos as well, and we'll start with what the rogue class gets, spec irrelevant. So you could just have 0 talent points, what you're going to bring to a raid with no talent points. So we'll look at a couple of poisons first. Don't get me wrong, this is not everything you bring, but I try to be sort of what's unique. What can't we get anywhere else? Or if we can get it anywhere else, is there more of a benefit of you using it? So one of these would be wound poison. Reducing the healing a mob receives. It might be a healing mob. You want to reduce the healing if they do happen to get one off. It might just be a safety blanket for if you happen to miss a kick, or an earth shock don't go off or something like that. So wound poison can be useful in certain fights. Still does reasonable amount of damage as well. So it's not a humongous damage loss to the rogue for using it. I know it's not unique, you've got Mortal Strike from warriors, etc., but still, if you've not got a warrior, then you can absolutely use a rogue to reduce the incoming healing. It's probably more primarily a PvP poison, don't get me wrong, but as I said, scraping the barrel on these rogues, unfortunately. So then we've got Mind-Numbing Poison. Now, this has got a lot of uses. Again, not unique. you can get Curse of Tongues from a Warlock, but if you've got a Rogue who's happy to use Mind-Numbing Poison, then you can technically have the Warlock use a more useful curse on the mob. So we actually have a Rogue with Mind-Numbing Poison on High King Mulgar to, slow the casting speed on the healer in there. So again, we could use Curse of Tongues, but there's a lot going on in that fight where you've got Warlocks banishing and enslaving Fell Hunters and doing loads of other funky stuff. So, it could be a good idea to have a Rogue using this. Again, this one doesn't do any damage, so it is a bit of a damage loss, but still reasonable. It's a nice addition to the raid if you need it for a specific encounter. What else they bring? So they can control fights, they can control adds really well. I appreciate in raids, majority of things, particularly in 25 man, are immune to stun, but that's not the case for all trash. So, there might be, if your kick's on cooldown and the mob's stunnable, you might want to, kidney shot it. So being able to control fights, you can do that as a rogue. Evasion, I'll put both of these up together. So Evasion and Cloak of Shadows, obviously you've got high survivability. So if you happen to over aggro, you can Evasion tank for a few seconds while the tank regains threat if your Vanish is not ready. And then Cloak of Shadows obviously allows you to stay in on certain encounters that other people would ordinarily have to run away from. It can save you from death. There's lots of good uses for Cloak of Shadows. So even though I said they don't bring a lot to raid, if you're talking about personal damage, obviously their single target damage is still reasonable. So they can, but they can also maintain that high uptime on the boss through clever use of their abilities. That's about it really for the overall rogue class. Thanks for coming. See you later. No. But now we'll get into the spec-specific stuff. So if you expose armor as standard is not overly amazing. 2050 armor reduction. It doesn't stack with Sunder. But if you're playing an assassination rogue or you put points in it, which even as a combat rogue you should put 2 points in it, improved expose armor, so it reduces the armor by an extra 50%. So now your expose armor is doing a lot more than Sunder, which is a big DPS gain for everybody in every physical damage dealer in the raid. Absolutely should be using this. I would prioritise having a rogue using an improved exposed armor over worrying about Sunders. Definitely, even with a prop warrior. Arguably, there's going to be more prop paladins and feral tanks, I feel, anyway, in raids than prop warriors. You're still going to see them, don't get me wrong, and they're going to do very well, and there's going to be great. I'm not dissing prop warriors. One of our main tanks is a prop warrior. But now, when you've got this option of taking paladins and druids and losing that Sunder armor or relying on a DPS warrior to put it up, you can now use a rogue to do an even better version of that Sunder armor anyway. So this is a big one for me. For a rogue, why would I bring it? If I didn't have a warrior, I'd absolutely want a rogue there if we had physical DPS in the group, just to bring the improved expose armor. And then improved kidney shot. Again, like when I said, that they can keep mobs stunned and stuff like that. So if you're stunning a mob that's about to heal, or you're stunning a mob that's about to blow up, while you've got improved kidney shot on, they're going to take an extra 9% damage. So you're going to be able to burst them down quicker, which that's a big, sort of increase in damage for the raid. It's in the assassination tree as well. Not massive, don't get me wrong. It's not really going to help on bosses, but there's certain things that it can help on that I thought it was worth a mention. And then we'll do these two together as well. So we've got, this is one's combat, one's sub. So in combat you get Blade Flurry. Now most classes have got some sort of cleave or multi-dot or whatever. So this is not unique, but it is very strong. Increases your attack speed by 20% and strike an additional nearby target. So if there's two targets together that need to die, or Romeo and Juliet, for example, when they both get up, and the fact that you can have a rogue just for 15 seconds nuke both of them equally, very nice. Not unique, as I say, but worth a mention because there was nothing else to mention in the combat tree. So, and then Hemorrhage is good. So there's some good hemo builds actually, and it does get better later in game. Still falls behind your typical combat spec or even assassination spec rogue, but you can go sort of a tri-spec hemo build, which is really nice, and bring in the hemo charges to the group, particularly if you've got a lot of physical damage dealers. Could be it'll be a personal DPS loss, but it could be overall a DPS gain for the raid. Now I'm going to struggle talking about a great deal else because, as I said, this was going to be short. For rogues, unfortunately, have drawn the short straw. Didn't really particularly start to get any amazing sort of raid utility until Wrath of the Lich King, unfortunately. But in TBC, they're still very good. You will take rogues. Rogues are going to be sought after. They've got good damage, good survivability. They've got good control. You know, you can make use of their poisons. We take rogues regularly, but just hand on heart, you know, if I had a rogue or a BM hunter, I would probably take the BM hunter if I could do without, you know, the kick, because they've got kick and interrupt. I didn't put it on here because it's not unique. You know, it's not even remotely unique. Most classes have got an interrupt nowadays. So overall, damage-wise, you're in a good place, and you get Warglaze of Azzinoth in Black Temple, so that's going to be awesome. So you're always going to be, you know, up there damage-wise in the top 3, 4, maybe 5 in a 25-man raid, but what you actually bring to the raid is very little. But don't let it put you off, because obviously they're absolutely gods in PvP. So if PvP's your thing anyway, or you want a PvP on the side, then you're going to love a rogue. And they are probably one of the most fun classes in the game, let's face it. And they only get more fun in TBC. You know, so much ganking potential, so much burst, you know, great in 2s, 3s, 5s. You just can't go wrong with a rogue, and it's all about that control. How much control they bring to any fight, whether it's, you know, PvE or PvP. So apologies that it was a bit short. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And the next one I'm going to do is Paladin, and I hopefully should have that out tomorrow. So make sure if you like it, make sure you like it. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Only about 20% of the people that actually watch these videos are subscribed. So there's 80% of you that are watching this now that don't click the subscribe button. So I'd really appreciate the support. There will definitely be content coming that you might like, even if you don't like the card tricks. But yeah, peace out, take care, and I'll see you soon.